home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Carr. Flush to his right.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Throwing his car on 3rd down.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At their own 28-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? Five defensive
DBs.
backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
Double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
And we saw that advantage right there. Past the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
Another big gain or 2 in succession as this one goes for 32.
The previous play big on the ground. That one big through the air. Things have jumped up quickly.
Certainly appears that whatever their thought process is on the defensive side of the ball, they're one play behind. You know, loaded up for the pass, they hit them with the run. Load up for the run, they hit them with the pass. They've got to get in sync.
Herbert operating from the red zone. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Rashawn Slater, first-round pick in 2021, guilty there.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Herbert now. Touchdown, Chargers. Keenan Allen, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Chargers are on the board first here in Vegas.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw his Carr.
Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by Michael Davis. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Running on first down, Eckler. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. Herbert jogs off, and out comes Dustin Hopkins to take this kick for L.A. on 4th down. Hopkins' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Carr. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The Raiders had 5 and 6 to start play. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind. And the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From midfield, here's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. $10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far.
This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Carr.
Slant to Adams. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown.
Mike Williams.
83 yards.
And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
To throw again on second down. Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right.
Crossing route, and he's got his man. It's Renfro.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. Being chased. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now Herbert following the turnover. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Throwing again on second down. Herbert. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown. Gerald Everett from 19 yards away.
And the Chargers continue to pull away here in this first half.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Flushed out right. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Linval Joseph breaking free and dropping it.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Carr. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Throw right side going to be caught by Waller. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it 4th down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Charger drive about to get going.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Eckler going to get it again on second down.
And not much room there, so get it up only to about the 21. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Eckler going to get it again on second down.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. So we have reached halftime intermission with the visiting Chargers on top as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter.
And Carter deciding not to bring this one out.
The Charger drive about to get going. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. It's Eckler again. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
53 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
This is a counter play. Eckler, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On second down, Eckler. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Throwing on first down is Carr. Caught outright by Renfro. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Here's Carr to throw. And finding Keelan Cole.
And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Carr now on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Throwing on 2nd and long. Carr.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Carr.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. And instead, it's 4th down.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Eckler going to get it again on second down.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Once more, here's Eckler. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Carr.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Charger drive about to get going. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
83 yards on the ground for Ekeler here. That's a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Out of the gun, Ekeler running it. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Up the middle with Ekeler. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. He was brought down by Michael Davis. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And Carr's throw complete here to Waller.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The Chargers trot out their dime package, expecting a throw on third down. Carr going to throw. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. The Charger drive about to get going.
And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Chandler Jones so quick. He was the one that got in to stop that one before it got started.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Justin Herbert looking to pass. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A.
For the winning team here, Charles.
Got your best friend hanging out the arm though. Got game like I'm dropping me a console. No, I don't swim, but I give up. Now I flex. While you there looking the best, feel to get up in your chest while I soak up my success, getting tokens for your stress. I'll be making all the checks anytime you see me step on a stage, acting real soft like my skin coming beige. Gonna step out and with him, girl, you fake. Try to get it out, what you hands on, you and dance on. Tell your boyfriend go and put your pants on. Down, the best friend. She went and did the same thing. I'm really mad, but she won't know. Everything has gotta be cool when we do it so cold. Feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chillers in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting I'm gonzo. Headed where the homie live, cause it's on, yo. I was chasing 3 women like I'm Mojo Jojo, so my girl got mad and she my bro. Monica, you're wrong, though. That's against a bro code. Headed to his home, though. No, he living solo. Vertebrae. I just broke into his place. It's chin in his face, yeah. From then I say it's evidence you entertain my loyalty to infiltrate. The only woman that I claim to risk your life to get some strange. How my anger is a pain. You didn't know that I'm a saint. I will blow your up, then I again. Gone. Feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chillers in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting cold. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Count on the rings. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like
top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm Peyton.